Afternoon. This extraordinary lake is called Sand Pond Lake. There's Sierra Buttes in the background, a great climb on those mountains. I've been coming here for decades with the kids. It's a relatively shallow lake and an easy swim. What I've been thinking about lately is some of the volunteers who have come over, particularly the volunteers who have rocked my world and kind of changed the way I view life. And two of them that come to mind is one named Alexis Richardson. She happens to be my niece. My cousin Leslie is a doc at Columbia, and her daughter Alexis came over and spent some time with us. She had just graduated from New York University with a degree in psychology and was kind of headed in a certain career path. When she came over, I was early on in the hospital, and we needed a lot of help there, even with people who didn't have that type of skill set. And I remember one night I went in to do a cesarean section, and Alexis was, she was willing to help, and I needed an extra set of hands, and she just had her head in the case. She really just seemed like she resonated with medicine in general. And then next few days we made rounds, and she came along with us and seemed to be just delighted with the whole idea of medicine. We'd sit on the bed in the pediatrics wards, and we'd take a history and then do a physical and put the lab together, and she said, this seems like a puzzle, and what an exciting dynamic way to deal with deal with certain problems and help people out in the process. I said, Alexis, I think there's a doc in there and just waiting to come out. I think you ought to explore it. So during their time there, she seemed just to really just expand and grow. And so when she went back to New York, she told her mom, had to go back to NYU for a couple of years to get her basic sciences, and her mom was excited about her considering a career in medicine, and certainly allowed her to do that. And so Alexis graduated, and then she went on to Columbia Med School, and then University of California, San Francisco for pediatric training. And I just saw her in San Francisco. She's headed back to Montefiore Hospital in New York, where she's going to be a professor of pediatrics. The world is a better place because of Alexis. She is a good fit at being a doc. She really has the heart of medicine and the true spirit of medicine within her. Another volunteer is Julia Lippert. And Julia came over quite a few years ago, but where I met Julia was early on. Julia was quite interested in music. And it was a Rotary convention, and part of the Rotary convention was a music contest, and Julia was one of the participants. And man, she could tickle the ivories and piano. She just knocked it out of the park, and actually she ended up winning. And the winner of the music contest played at the keynote address for Rotary, and I happened to be the speaker. And she heard about the Batwa. I heard her play again, and then after I gave my talk, I spent a little time with Julia and her mom Stacy, and I said, Julia, it seems like Batwa like music, and you seem to have a really good spirit that might resonate with the folks over there. Why don't you come over? And she did, and she spent 8 months over a period of time working there. And in my impression of her work there, she just really was cut out for public health. It seemed to be a great fit for her. She resonated with the culture. She understood what it meant to be in desperate circumstances, and she dealt with people where they were. And But I got a lot of pushback from Julia. She's pretty strong-willed, and instead she went to LA and did a few years of stand-up and improv. But I kept in touch with her, and one day I got a call from her and said, "What do you think about me going into public health?" I said, "I think it's great. I think you're perfectly matched for public health. I think the public health world would really welcome you." She said, "Well, I've been out of school for quite a while, basic sciences." I said, "You'll be accepted. You'll be accepted wherever you apply." And she said, "How can you be sure?" I said, "Well, one of the main problems in public health is communication. I mean, just view what recently we had with the COVID outbreak. It's just, how do you communicate a message to the general population where it's understood and they can react appropriately to public health messages?" And I said, "With your stand-up and improv, you're the perfect communicator. So wherever you apply, you'll be accepted. Just let me know where you want to go." And one of the schools that she wanted to apply is Tulane. So I called the dean, talked to the dean, and I said, "I've got this student who's really interested in public health, has been to Uganda, has worked there," and I said, "Oh, by the way, she's also done stand-up and improv in LA." There was a little pause after I told her that, and then the response was, "When can I see the application?" And of course, she was accepted. She went to Tulane, just graduated. And now she's returning. Julia's returning to work at the Bwindi with the National Institute of Health project that she did some of the original research as part of her public health training, and she's coming back to be one of the principal investigators for this project. So hats off to Julia and Alexis. Certainly rocked my world, but my guess is the whole world is a better place because of what you will be doing there. Bring a lot of wealth of experience and a heart for those less fortunate, and a real sense of compassion. So thank you. You guys are a gift. God bless.